Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to Phil's Recap and Review. Better Call Saul, Season 3, Episode 9, Fall, the second to last episode of Season 3 of Game of Thrones. And Joe, we're back.
Of what?
Oh, sorry. I have one thing on my mind. What am I talking about? Hey, I've been on vacation.
I don't want to be one episode left of Game of Thrones already. We haven't even seen the first fucking 6.
I'm projecting my future excitement, but here we are. We're back to talk about this episode of Better Call Saul the day after. We go. Thank you, Joe. Thank you. I totally fucked that one up. Hey,
we're rusty. We're rusty.
I was saying that before the show started. That I'm rusty here, and I haven't formally sat in this seat for a while and babbled to everybody. So it's good to be back. I've been gone for a couple of weeks on vacation. That's why we haven't covered the last 2 episodes of Better Call Saul in full. We will make mention of those episodes because of the 3 that we're leading up to talk about here. Last week's was probably my favorite because it really brought Nacho, the actor Nacho, into more of a focus as another main character in the show. And I thought just everything with him and Hector last week was exceptional. Another really great episode of Better Call Saul. It has me seriously kind of on the fence of being upset about the end of this season and the end of the series. I do want to mention a couple things off the bat that have been talked about by the creators about the longevity of Better Call Saul, like how many years this is going to actually work. But before we go any further, I forgot some of the best, some of the motherfucking greatest, the live chat, the motherfucking chat.
Yo, it's good to have you guys back.
Rain, Sam, retired nurse, Kathy. We got Corey Mitchell in there. A whole bunch of love you motherfuckers. So great to talk to you again. And eventually I will get back to being able to actually talk. At the end of the show, maybe I'll talk a little bit about the honeymoon, but I think I'm going to do a podcast on Wednesday or Thursday evening where I just sort of babble about the break and catch up on a couple of things that we've been wanting to, that a couple of people have asked me to catch up on, like the end of Prison Break, Nintendo's E3 briefing, and a couple of other subjects. And also, there's some Game of Thrones stuff that we need to talk about too, Joe. Maybe tomorrow afternoon when you drop.
No. She's not going to work tomorrow. We're going to go see Tom Petty.
Ooh, in the Heartbreakers. Fuck. So back to let's stick this to Better Call Saul right now for now. But at the end of the podcast, we might get a little ranty. But yes, Joe does look dapper, all cleaned up. And if people want to check out some of those pictures, you can find me on Facebook or check out the Discord group for a couple of the pictures of us from the wedding. We'll be sharing more stuff as time goes on. Also, Taka from Dirty Issues was around there as well. So this episode of Better Call Saul, now, I gotta say, I would probably go as far as Jimmy does with the older woman to make her cry, but I have to admit there was at a point in time in this episode while I was watching last night's episode, Joe, that I started to feel a little icky for some of the stuff that Jimmy was doing in this episode.
Oh yeah, what an asshole! What did he do to that poor old woman? I mean, come on though. Here's the thing: how much longer it could last another 5-10 years? These people are old. Like, someone's got to counsel that woman into actually, thinking about, these people want the money now. They don't want to wait for an extra $1,000 each.
I agree with you there, but there's a fine line between that and fixing a bingo game so everyone would go boo-hoo and treat her like it's a junior high school dance in someone's
I think he was hoping it wasn't going to go that far. I think he was hoping those women would have actually said something to her. Instead, they were all just like, fuck her. We're not going to talk to her ever again. So he had to go even further with it.
Joe, I challenge you on that. I think Jimmy got exactly what he wanted out of that situation. He wanted to make her putty in his hand so he could convince her and attack her. He took a completely innocent woman that wasn't even trying to make it stall. I've read some other people's reviews. They're like, yeah, she was trying to stall for more money. No, that woman was she didn't know what the hell was going on.
No, she didn't. It was the other lawyers that were telling her, because they're not going to get $1,000. They're going to get millions more each as lawyers, and the people that are in that lawsuit are only going to get like $1,000, maybe $2,000 more, whatever. But the lawyers are going to get millions more. So they were telling her, you need to wait. We should wait. We're going to get a lot more. Everybody will be happier because they're getting more money. But a lot of those people are going to be fucking dead.
Yeah, they don't care. Get them the money now. Okay, so you think Hector some of what Jimmy was trying to do in that situation was, I don't think he was doing it for this reason, but he was speaking some truth. Like in that conversation with Howard where he's like, yeah, I know I'm like Gollum, I know precious money and stuff like that, but most of these people don't care for an extra $1,000. Let these people
Correct.
their time. So I don't know. I think I tend to almost take Howard's side in all of this and think Jimmy
Oh, there's no doubt he's doing it. He wants his money. That's the main motivation behind it. He's not trying to get her to change her mind to make all those other people happy. I think he was just hoping that those women would turn around immediately and be like, yo, this is why we're mad at you. You know, we need money. You know, settle that shit already. But none of them did that. So he had to go further and go to the bingo game and really break her, you know, like
fix the bingo game.
And then he had to do it himself, which he was very uncomfortable with. Because if you notice, he was like, you know, I'm not a lawyer. And if I were you, I would search your heart. He's trying his hardest not to give her any actual legal advice because he can get in big trouble for that. You know, if he's acting as a lawyer or as a representative. So he's got to make it seem as non-lawyery, as just friendly as possible. So I don't think he wanted to have to be in that situation at all. He wanted those women to do it.
Okay.
That would have been the ultimate, was to play both sides a little bit better. But he just pissed those women off and alienated her instead. They got really fucking catty on him.
Oh, so catty. And that's absolutely the truth. My mother and her, like last years before her mind completely went, was in sort of a facilities, like more daycare facilities, camps and stuff. And I'd go there to visit her sometimes, and you'd see the tables all spread out. It was like you're watching a junior high school cafeteria again, or early high school cafeteria, where the cool kids are sitting on one table, and then there's other people sitting on the outshoot tables, and the other kids aren't allowed to sit at the cool kids table. It's a real thing. That sort of cattiness there. It's almost like a ice cream sandwich because the life is the ice cream sandwich between the two times in your life where you get fucked with. When you're a little kid, you get fucked with school. And then when you're old at an old age home and they're like screwing with you and shit like that, like you're back in fucking school, you get that yummy ice cream sandwich, tasty ice cream in the middle. But it's those two shitty ends squeezing you in. And then your life just melts out of there. And fucking, you just got two pieces of fucking yucky cookie.
That's a great metaphor.
Or something. It's something.
Life is like an ice cream sandwich. Shitty school at the beginning and shitty retirement living at the end.
You get the tasty ice cream.
No, nursing home at the end, not retirement living.
It's not a retirement community, Joe. It's a nursing home. And then the ice cream is the life melting away. It's horrible. It's fucking horrible. I want some ice cream now. Oh, we got Quixote, we got Corey, we got Scout, all in the live motherfucking chat. Great to see all of you guys, and thank you for joining us on this afternoon. I'll be back alone after the episode of Better Call Saul next week, right after the episode airs, and then it's straight home, put the car in gear, heading for Game of Thrones season, that we can actually smell it from here. But I do want to mention one thing about the future of Better Call Saul that I heard during the break before we get back into our thoughts about this episode. Peter Gould, who essentially is the leader of this show. I always talk about Vince Gilligan, but Vince Gilligan is Breaking Bad. And essentially Peter Gould, this is his baby. And he brought Vince in to be the co-daddy for it. And with the other way around, where Breaking Bad was Vince's baby, and he brought Peter in to kind of be the co-daddy. And that's why Peter's original vision of this was the half-an-hour comedy that Vince came in and goes, no, it's an hour. And fuck this. We're bringing Gus in. We're doing all this shit. We're making it more Breaking Bad-y. Deal with it. But Peter Gould is probably the person that makes most of the final decisions on the show. They were asking him about a possible season 4. Season 4 still hasn't been greenlit. Is that going to happen? Apparently, season 4 is going to happen. It's just the red tape being signed. This is from an interview I was reading with him. Season 4 is going to be happening. The writers' room's already starting to work. They're just trying to get everyone's contracts up together. As for past then, I'm saying right now, I think Better Call Saul is ending next season. Past then, his only quote was, and I think it's kind of a slight at The Walking Dead. Listen, I don't want to live too long. Yeah, I feel greedy that this is paraphrasing quote. I feel greedy that we even got to do this show and people like it, because I feel like it's self-indulgent. I feel like the fact that we're doing more in this universe is us going, we're doing. So I feel like we're in borrowed time anyway. I'd rather this show end when people still want more, rather than go on too long for people to be sick of it. So he'd rather us feel like, oh, it should have gone one more year, than feel like it lasts
Right.
too long. So that by that definition, I think it's going to be 1 year less than Breaking Bad, and next year will be the last year of Better Call Saul.
He wants to be a master of his own fate. He doesn't want to write a season where it leaves you with hangers and wanting more because there's more hangers left to go. He wants to finish a series where this was the body of work. It's a story from start to finish, and I'm not leaving it to the networks to pull the rug out from underneath this thing and make it a half-finished or three-quarter finished story. So if they do that, if they can sign everybody's contracts and maybe even get the network to agree to 2 seasons right up front, which would never happen, that would be fantastic. But if they want to cut it after next season, if they want to write it to an end, to a finish, I'm all for that. I'm fine with that. 4 seasons is okay. It's a great piece of work, as is so far with these 3 seasons. It's so in depth. It's visually awe-inspiring.
I'm becoming
great cinema on television.
I'm just becoming comfortable to it, and this happened last season too. I noticed myself in this episode when I was watching it. And partially is I'm out of practice, so I'm like going back to taking notes. I'm like, I'm not taking too detailed notes. No fucking way. But some of the visual aspects, I'm almost just accustomed to it at this point, accustomed to how fucking wonderful it is when we just see a simple angle of coming up, looking at someone's face while they're doing something. The way that scene with the Gus and the Hector scene when they're getting the phone call in this episode, how that was just framed and the colors in it.
No. I'm not used to it. There's nothing common about it. There's nothing to get used to. This is the one bright spot of an hour-long TV show over until Game of Thrones starts up again. I had a few shows on Netflix that were bright spots too, but honestly, there's nothing out there that's like this. There's nothing else on TV is filmed like this, where you can't look at what you see and be like, fucking awesome.
The only other show that I don't watch, but I know the creative team, and I wonder if it's just as good. Maybe you watch it, is something like Fargo or something. Or
no, I don't watch it, but I can see how that would be as good. Sense8 was amazing visuals.
True Detective in season 1, the way it was kind of shot, it was set up, but sustained greatness for 3 seasons, where every episode, even where I feel like this was one of my least favorite episodes of the series, for whatever it's worth. I really love this episode, but of the 3 seasons, this was probably on my bottom half of an episode list of fall, but still, there was 100 times in this episode. The way they did Kim's accident at the end, and it just kind of popped in real quick, was one of the best times we've seen. So it was
almost like a Freddy Krueger moment where she falls, like it was like, like a blink. It was good. It was better than like the truck coming at the side window. It was
100%. And we've seen that so many times in so many different shows, from Lethal Weapon to The Sopranos. How many car accidents did they get into in The Sopranos? And the way this was filmed was special and unique and just kicked some serious ass. Last week with Nacho trying to shoot and score the pills into Hector's pocket was like you're suddenly in Ocean's 11 for a second. Yep. Watching him do this whole setup. It's just so much fun. They have perfected the quick action montage on Better Call Saul in a way that with Breaking Bad, it was different. It was almost like Nip Tucky, where they're going for an operation and then it's a moment of a symphony of visuals with Jesse and Walt cooking. On Better Call Saul, they're used for action. Usually it's in a Kim situation or watching Jimmy do things like setting up the old woman in this episode. And the way they do those music montage moments of flex time is unlike any other show ever doing it this well. And it's not like, it's becoming a device that they use on the show, but fuck all, man. Give me the device. Led Zeppelin guitar solos are insane. Jimmy Page can solo in every fucking song. I don't care. Give it to me. It works. When it works, it works. And watching the editors and filmmakers work on the show, when I say I'm used to it, I just mean my eyes become accustomed to it in a way. At the beginning of the season, I'm constantly shocked by the visuals. It's more a couple times an episode now where I go, God damn. Can they show all of these on a big screen somewhere, just because I want to see it on a big fucking screen?
Like just the visuals of the lights down the table in the boardroom, those arched lights. Like I thought that was great, the way they had set up the shot of the insurance underwriters and Howard and
Just incredible, dude. Incredible. Let's jump into the live motherfucking chat for a second here. Robert says, did you have a Game of Thrones wedding? I bet your Daenerys wedding dress looked great on you. I did look amazing on that with that wedding dress. We did play Reigns of Castamere at the wedding. No one got the joke, not even Game of Thrones.
And we did do a betting ceremony.
It was
real quick right after the
that did happen.
break.
But I did sneak up behind Joe and try to stab him and say the Lannisters send their regards. But
he got me. I had to be like, oh wait, is that Reigns of Castamere?
He like choked on his food, and so he's like, "Dude, I have food in my throat." I choked him on his food.
My salmon.
Your salmon.
Like a good house Tully, man.
Yeah. So, are you saying her car didn't roll down a mountain, reach the bottom, and randomly explode like it should have in a television show in a movie? That car exploded. How could you just be walking away from that?
I love the blood on the airbag. Great touch.
Yeah, it was a good touch. I hope the affair ended better than the Red Wedding. I don't know. We'll hear about that in a couple of years. Ask Stephanie about that. I actually asked her how hard it was to go away with me on a week where I drank nonstop for a week. Corey says, I actually thought at the end the guy was going to show up at like State Farm commercial and be like, "We got you covered, Kim." #product placement. That's a good one. Okay, so then another aspect of this episode that we got to talk about, a couple more highlights before we go through a quick recap of this. We get the Hector and further adventures of Hector and Gus and seeing more of their problems. Last week, as we mentioned, Ignacio was able to trade out Hector's pills. Obviously, this is a long game, not a fast game. We see Hector in this episode sort of have an attack, but be able to come down to it, whether by taking the placebo pill, just the action of taking a pill and the actions of whatever that pill is going to really do to him not quite kicking in, or just himself calming down in that moment for whatever his condition is. But it seems like, are we going to see Hector having a full heart attack, stroke / situation by next week, Joe? Or you think that's a strain that they're going to run into season 4?
I think that might run to season 4. That might be the final action build up to Gus setting up the operation and getting Slippin' Jippy.
Goes a little out of practice too. Put that in the
Slippin' Jimmy into the
Israel
into the mix there. But
yeah, and within that, we find out that Don Ilario has made the decision that Gus's way of transporting drugs is too safe.
Called that shit.
Yep. Yeah, you totally called that shit. In any way that Hector is doing it, he wants that to stop, and all money will go through the Chilean.
Yep, called that shit.
And Hector is like, fuck that, fuck you, fuck Don Ilario, fuck everybody, motherfucker, and bashes the shit on the phone.
You see a little smirk.
Yeah, total smirk. I love how Gus is handling all of this, and a couple of things that we got more about Gus in this episode too. We see Lydia again, probably calm for the first time. My favorite Lydia scene in both shows in this episode with Mike, because she meets Mike and she meets someone who's just as paranoid as she is. From everything we know about her in Breaking Bad and how much she feels like she has to dot all her T's and cross all her I's. I know I said that backwards. She has never met someone as careful as Mike is with the situation, other than probably Gus, which fills her with a sense of comfort. And
that being said, I thought it was kind of risky for him to just be straight out to her. Oh, why would you be working for a drug dealer? Like, you're now fishing to see if she knows if he's a drug dealer, but to call him a drug dealer to someone else might get Gus upset.
This
woman might go back to Gus and be like, he's calling you a drug. He was in my office and he was like, why am I working for a drug dealer? Gus might not like something like that.
Very true. Very true. I think maybe that was supposed to be like a behind the curtain moment, but I definitely, in reality, I absolutely agree with what you're saying right there. And one of the best names I've seen in a long time, Propagandolf. Isn't Nacho the Ignacio that Saul mentions when he gets kidnapped in Breaking Bad? I don't remember that specific mention, but maybe I do know that Jesse, I believe, mentions Ignacio too, by saying that Saul got my friend off a bunch of times, my friend Ignacio. So I think that he is mentioned. I don't remember that specific Easter egg or that reference in Breaking Bad, but I wouldn't doubt it. In that situation when Saul's tied up in the desert and they're kidnapping him and he just mentions 10 people's names. I remember the scene you're talking about. I don't remember the names he says, but he very well could have mentioned Nacho, and that makes a lot of sense. It makes a lot of sense. A hug for sure. Fuck it, Phil. I will spoil myself. Phil, what's good? Broke black man in the live motherfucking chat.
Hey.
Doesn't care. He didn't see this episode. Is it me or does the name Lydia scream evil? Like Damon Motorachi or something? Robert says, I live in Albuquerque. I see Bob Odenkirk and Mike Ehrman around every now and then. I worked a wedding that Rhea Seahorn, who plays Kim, was at. Oh, that's fucking awesome. That's awesome. Great. It is great to see all of you guys, and thank you so much for joining us, and thank you for all the love and the messages during the break. We are so lucky to get to babble to you guys about some television. Anyway, anytime we get to. So thank you. We'll work through some of our rust here to get back to the smooth hippie-like broadcast that we have. Excuse me. So I did like Lydia in this scene. I think she was more calm and calculating. She explains to Mike the whole money situation, how that all works and stuff. Mike and Nacho were after touches in this episode. This was another episode that focus was on Jimmy and Chuck. And I guess that's the last thing we haven't talked about before we get into a little bit of a recap, the Chuck situation. Now, do you think Howard is overreacting? Because we get to the point where the insurance premium is going to cost higher. Jimmy's little seed that he dropped earlier to fuck over Chuck a little bit and not make him so he can't testify. He can't work in court anymore and can't get malpractice insurance. Chuck has, in the last couple of episodes, we've seen he's gone through therapy. He's trying to deal with electric type objects. His goal is to end up back in the courtroom. Through all of this, Howard's decided to try to rush.
Howard played it poorly.
I agree with you, Joe. Go. I think I agree with you 100%.
Howard should have backed Chuck 100%. Sure, let's sue the fuck out of the insurance company. They got the time, they got the manpower, they can do it easily.
Yep, I agree.
And they could probably win that. Dick
move by Howard. It's a frustration move by Howard because of Jimmy and Kim getting him. It has a lot to do with Kim, a lot to do with what we saw a couple weeks ago or last week. I forget which one, in the scene with Kim and with the whole Kim and Howard interaction when they're at the dinner together, and her trying to give him back money for paying for college and stuff like that. Like, he's pissed at anything McGill right now. He wants to attack.
Right. Here's the thing. They probably would have won that suit. I mean, just because he's one of the names on the sign and one of the head guys, as long as he's not reviewing cases and shit, then it doesn't matter. The other lawyers that are involved in that office shouldn't have their premiums doubled because of Chuck. If Chuck's not signing off on any of their work, then his illness isn't affecting what's going on as far as that stuff is concerned. So it didn't really make too much sense to me. I can understand them saying we're going to double or triple or whatever fucking Chuck because he's
afford it. It's better than paying out $8 million.
Right. You double, but Chuck's raising Chuck's insurance is one thing. Raising the insurance on every lawyer in the firm is another. And if you want to have special underwriters where lawyers' works get checked, it would be one of the partners checking Chucky's work.
Yep. Yeah.
And that would probably be the only thing. That's how they would end up winning that whole lawsuit, and they would probably get money for it too. Or cut on their insurance premiums.
So we need to stop the show right now because we got Jen S, who finally made a live chat. Jen S, welcome to the motherfucking chat.
We've been waiting all this time for you.
And Jen, first timers, your first time in the live chat. Joe is going to be pissed about this, but I don't care.
Oh, you don't give that shit out for free.
I'm giving you one free spin. Anytime someone donates on Super Chat here, we like to give them a spin of the wheel. But Jen, since this is your very first time,
commit me to some shit for a newbie.
Yeah, here we go.
Never make it back for another live show. We know your type, Jen.
Oh yeah, one time and one and done, Jen. You're gonna spin. Here we go, Jen. Spin the wheel. Big money, no whammies, and Jen's gonna get a bite of a sandwich we need to take. Oh, I'm gonna take this liquid sandwich here. Liquid sandwich. Okay, I'll take that in a second. Give me a second. But I agree with you, Joe. Joe's turning the camera off so we can go eat a sandwich. I do think that I agree with you 100%. Chuck, you got to stand by Chuck. You stood by Chuck this long, and you abandon him in this situation because the insurance premiums, you try to brush him out the door a little bit. Don't you know that Chuck said it in this episode a couple times, one time specifically, and I back him by that. don't want Chuck McGill as your enemy in this situation, especially when you're Howard. You think it's hard to be Chuck McGill's friend. You don't want his ass as an enemy. Just subscribed 2 weeks ago when you guys weren't around. Yeah, I was on vacation, Jed. It totally is our fault, but we're so
Not
happy.
vacation, honeymoon.
Yeah. You say potato, I say potato.
That's no vacation, yo.
It's totally
it's hard work.
When you go to an all-inclusive resort and you have to drink like 12 hours a day before you pass out and then wake up and eat and drink again, that's work, Joe. That's not an easy job. It's hard work, Joe. But yeah, nice, smooth sandwich. I love how Howard is losing his composure more and more. Great acting. I did want to mention that too. Similar to, there's a fine line, and it's quick to say, oh, I hate that actor. I hate this person. The actor that's played Howard has grown so much into his character, and from the way that the actor played in the first season. I think him as a actor's performance has grown the most from season 1 to the point where we are now. He has so much subtlety and layers to him as a character.
I think he's getting a little bit more airtime as well.
Fair enough, Joe. Maybe that's what it is too. They're expanding him a little bit more, because you could say Michael Mondo, I believe, who plays Nacho, is an excellent actor. A lot of people have been saying how excited they are to have him on the show, but he hasn't really had anything to do on the show till the last 3 episodes. And in the last 3 episodes, they're giving him some meaty work, and we're seeing that kid emotes so much from the without saying a word. He is like, I cannot say enough good things. I wasn't experienced in his work a lot.
Think about who he's got to learn from. Gus. How much does Gus emote with a completely flat affect? Mike, his face, you can read pretty much his intent and thoughts. He doesn't say much, but he certainly says a lot with what he doesn't say.
Yeah, and I would say that's one of the strengths above anything else of this show and the Breaking Bad universe, is the showing, not telling, and the way that they cast
Pictures are worth 1,000.
Which I think it's why Aaron Paul, not to get to Breaking Bad, but I think Aaron Paul is such a special force in this universe because of how verbal he is.
Mouthy motherfucker.
The mouthy motherfucker that he is, and that's why they probably had him on the show. They're like, we can't kill this kid off.
Which is why Bob Odenkirk's works so well, because he's that mouthy motherfucker in this like long dead staring contest between so many of the peripheral characters.
He's the second best lawyer in the world, man. He's fucking amazing. Okay, so we wasted enough time, Joe. We talked about everything.
My God.
We could basically just end the show right now, because we basically talked about everything.
Timo's trying to end it right now.
Oh shit, Timo. Timo is giving us the shame. Sorry I can't be in the live chat today. Had to stop for the weekly donation. Make you guys take a shot in shame. Bill.
Oh, she just called it straight out. You can't call a shot. You can't call a shot. You get a wheel spin. Timo. Actually, Timo has donated enough that she could basically call anything she wants to call. But we're ready.
No, we're going through the motions here, Jeff. We're going through the motions. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Timo!
No whammy, no whammy, no whammy, no whammy, no whammy, no whammy, no. No whammy, no whammy, no whammy, no whammy, no whammy, no whammy. Come on, no whammy.
Both take
fuck.
Both take a shot. It landed on both take a shot. I don't have my shot in here. Joe, take over the show for a little bit. Talk a little bit.
Okay. What am I talking about?
Talk a little bit about what you're hoping for next week in the season finale.
Oh, shit. I want someone to be buried in the desert. I want someone else to bury that person in the desert. I want to see the look on Jimmy's face when he actually gets the $1.7 million check or gets nothing, because it all falls apart because he influenced that chick somehow. I don't know. There's too much to say. Jesus. What do you guys want to see in the finale? I mean, that's the real question.
Did you have full Garth moment, Joe? Was there a full Garth moment going on there?
No, I had a couple of things I said.
Okay.
See, look, Joe drinks, he knows things.
Knows things, awesome. You guys are amazing, as we always say. We cannot say enough thanks to you guys, motherfucking. As we go on this show, these are reviews essentially, but they're also just glimpse podcasts of you joining us on an adventure for a day. So we don't always stick to the script of the show. As time goes on, that's probably become less and less, and we're just going to keep talking more and more. We get more and more of us. But we'll try to stick to talking about the shows too. People are like, yeah, come on, fuck this drinking shit. Joe, I'm toasting a Baratheon to you.
Hey,
what happens to Nacho in Hector?
Big it.
Here we go. Toast. Okay, so to Timo. Oh, Timo, go hug yourself, Timo.
I used a Baratheon too, just so you know.
Yeah, I did. So here we go.
I chose this before the show even started.
Let's get into the recap, Joe.
Get into the recap. What have we been doing for the last half hour?
And that's one of the things that we might change over time. Essentially, not get into an official recap always. I mean, we honestly have talked about everything in this episode, Joe. There's like nothing that I feel like
there's a few things actually that I could talk about. The bingo scene. Not necessarily the whole setup, but if you watch, okay, we'll get
Okay, we'll get to it. So the scene opens up. We see a car pulling a lot, and it's Saul Goodman with plates, and he's got some cat cookies. Cute. And Gordon Ramsay's like, oh,
he cooked them shits himself, yo.
Yeah, he did. He cooked them shits himself, and he knows how to plate, yo. He really knows how to set up.
Oh, dude, he knows how to sell a con. That's the thing. He knows he can't walk it. He walks in those cookies. He baked them himself. They're on a paper plate. They're wrapped.
Totally baked.
You know. Like, and that old lady knows that. No, that dude did not bake those fucking cookies. Those are store-bought cookies.
Think she knows? Does she know?
She's gotta know. Grandma knows what a fucking store-bought cookie looks like. Grandma knows.
Yeah, she might have a little bit of the dementia going on there, though. There might be a 10% dementia.
Those are hard, nasty. You've eaten those cookies. You have one of those cookies in fucking Halloween bin. You made me eat it. It was on a stick or some shit.
No, I made your ass eat it because I'm not eating that shit.
It's fucking gross, man.
This is disgusting, dude.
Like shortbread, salted fucking.
By the way, Timo, we love you, but fuck you for making us take a shot.
Oh, dude, I can't even think now.
No one else better donate. That's all I'm saying. So
don't you dare.
You dare. So anyway,
it's too early in the afternoon for this shit. Fucking sandwiches and fucking wheel spins.
My fault for not doing this last night. Really, it is. We have to try to stick to nights. Jen says yes. The hard nasty cookies that crumble with one bite.
You want to try to eat the cookie out from underneath that hard ass fucking nasty whatever frosting sugar coating shit that's on the
as people in the live chat are repeating hashtag grandma knows.
Grandma knows, man. You don't try to fucking like. I'm surprised she didn't say like, Jimmy, man, I love you and all, but them are some store-bought nasty ass cookies. Get the fuck up out my house.
You didn't even bring me Entenmann's. What the fuck?
Right. Oh man, not enough people know what Entenmann's. I think that's an East Coast shit.
Am I dating myself with the Entenmann's cookies thing?
That's like Nissan Bakery right around the corner here.
No, it's true. I love me some.
Doesn't exist no more.
Critch says Granny believes that she does the same thing with her family. Old broad's been pushing store-bought cookies.
Right, exactly.
So
exactly.
we kind of talked about this. He's probing about the Sandpiper situation. He wants to know. He's like, listen, honey. I know Sandpiper's offered you some money. Hook me up with some information.
You're looking lovely as ever, Jimmy McGill.
Oh,
what are you doing? I was in the area, and I thought, I wonder how my favorite form.
So he goes and sort of massages her bum. Holy shit! Scout Teeny has done it. Let's play a little bit of this scene while we spin the wheel again.
Yep, he's not commanding drink or sandwiches. He's just
hoping
for right. Hit play and spin. Come on, watch Fear the Walking Dead.
Wow, that looks just like your feeling. They do.
What color is that? That looks dark red. I got to remember what these colors are so I know you're not making shit up.
That settlement money, you might have.
Okay, so in this scene, it landed on drink or sandwich. It landed on 20 push-ups, Joe. No one wants to see that. I'm giving another spin. No one wants.
Hold on. Before this show started, honest to God, I'd have Katie come in here and back me up on this shit. I did 10 miles on my Nordic bike, in 30 minutes and then mowed my dad's lawn. So
I'm the one that needs to do 20 push-ups. So Joe, talk a little bit about this scene. Talk about this scene with Jimmy and the old woman at the beginning.
Well, basically, he's just in there. He's fishing for what's going on with the case. Since he's been disbarred, he doesn't know what's going on with the Sandpiper. I think it's Sandpiper, right? Sandpiper case. So he can't get information from Howard and McGill, A, because they hate him. He can't get information from Davis and Maine, A, because they hate him. So the only option he has to find out where this case is at and if an offer has been made, which, they're pretty quick to throw out an offer. And, of course, any lawyer representing is going to reject the first offer, maybe the second offer, and they're going to litigate more and wind it out. And that's kind of what Jimmy's feeling out. And when she brings over that box, he's, like, I guess I can look through, but he knows exactly what envelope he's looking for. He's looking for a recent dated envelope. He's looking for a small envelope that says, listen, we'll give you money. And when he does that, when he finds that, like he goes right at it. He doesn't stop at all. Look at, they counted you out. They counted you out at 9, Phil.
I know, I only did 10. Keep going, Joe.
No, you did 9. Okay, 10. Scout says 10. And you'll learn to put your camera on the floor. And so he pulls that out and he casually flips through it. Like, I don't know. I thought his acting was a little bit over the top for the audience itself. And they were acting as though this grandma is extremely naive. And there are a lot of people out there that are like that. But I would like to think that a woman of this age that's trying to get through life, that, is at least sitting there saying, these motherfuckers that are supposed to be taking care of my health care and all this medication shit and like my diabetic medication, my inhalers and my wheelchairs and all this shit, they had it out for my best interest. I think she would have a little bit bigger eye open on this blatant fucking con when she sees the same exact fucking Easter cookies that she brought to her goddamn fucking niece's Easter party last month.
Motherfucker. And I agree. I also think the lawyer sure showed up at one point to be like, to kind of keep an eye on the situation and be like, wait a minute, Jimmy McGill.
Did he get him done, chat? Did he get him done? I don't see a 20 on there. I don't see a 20 on there.
Go fuck yourself, Joe. I did the 20 push-ups. You didn't do
right 20. After a shot. I'll do 10 just to, you know what? And I'm gonna make y'all listen to this.
Here we go. Joe's gonna do 10. I'm gonna put it on the screen while we go to the next scene. So he's trying to figure out his cut. His cut is $1 million or so as he leaves there. He starts mathematically figuring out how much he gets. And he's like, I can hear Joe. Joe's going, bam, bam. There we go, Joe. So he's trying to figure it out. He's basically, his cut's going to be about $1 million.
Oh, fuck. 18. You got 18 out of me. That's it.
Yeah, that's good, Joe. At least it's something.
And there were 18 in a row, unlike your fucking pause you took.
I totally paused. I had a brainless moment where I thought I only had to do 10 push-ups instead of 20. I'm like, where I was like,
oh, fuck.
Yeah, why'd I put 20 on the board after that shot, Joe? What the fuck's going on here? Like, we might end up making a living at this, but it's gonna get us in really good shape and really drunk. So our next scene that we have is go to Mike. His Segway zip by, and we see Ty come and greet him that we've seen before in Breaking Bad. He offers him the works, coffee, tea, meat. He heads in to meet Lydia, and he has the situation with Lydia. Play a little bit of that.
33% is the common fund.
Oh, but this is Saul figuring out his money.
Sent up your start paperwork, I-9, W-2, pretty standard. Could I have your driver's license and social security card?
I know. Everyone's hoping for a shot. They're like, why?
It's counterproductive, Scott. I just did my last 2.
Exactly. Walk me through.
Yours from Madrigal.
Now you got a dirty phone call from Dirty Locks.
At that rate, you're 20.
Scott says she'd rather us get drunk than healthy. I had to put some healthy stuff on the board. Come on.
Oh, fuck. I can't believe I did 18 out like that. Fuck me.
Again, as always, if anyone's watching this later, please subscribe and join us live. We're going to go live a lot. We're going to be on 3-4 times a week during the summer live once Game of Thrones starts. So please come and join us as many times as you can live. We love when you watch us after the fact, but really it's all about interacting with the live motherfucking chat and being able to have, as you can see, direct interactions with us and get us really crazy shit. And also the things that are written on the board are just in pen that can easily be deleted. If anyone has,
it's a dry erase marker shit. So
if anyone has
suggestions.
suggestions of things that they want to get on the board, please email me.
No crack, no heroin, no meth.
Right, totally. Yeah, what's the reason?
No mushrooms, no LSD.
Yeah, we hold judgment to cross out things, but if you have any suggestions of things you may want to make us do,
DMT, ecstasy, off the board.
we appreciate you helping facilitate us to do this more and turn this into our
No murder, no rape, no assault.
yeah. But anyways, so let's continue. We get more of the Lydia and Mike scene. We kind of already talked through this scene, but I like it. I like seeing Lydia in this context. I like Mike, all the questions he asks. He sees how he's going to get paid, and more he's getting hypnotized and ingrained into working for this man. Now, if you were Mike in this situation, there's no reason not to jump in head first, even though this is one of those prequel situations. I guess what I'm talking about is we know that every step that Mike takes down this path is a closer step to his own death. But to Mike, from Mike's perspective, this is the perfect situation for him, right? Like he's like, oh my God, this is too good to be true, right?
A little bit.
What do you think of Mike's perspective on this Gus situation? Like, where's Mike's head at? Like, what's going to be the final straw that makes him just go full force into Gus? Or do you think he never quite gets full force into Gus? It was just a matter of perspective on Breaking Bad. I know that's a lot, Joe. I'm sorry, I'm drunk and I just did push-ups.
Yeah, I still haven't stopped thinking about that. I missed most of what you said at the beginning of that, so I'm not sure. He never does go against Gus, does he? He doesn't go like. Do you mean full force with Gus or full force?
I mean full force with Gus. I think
that starts right here. He knows when she answers him. If you think that's all Gus is, you do not know Gus. When she says that to him, he knows exactly kind of who he's dealing with. That this guy is not just there laundering money with this woman. Obviously, that has nothing to do with why he's with this woman. Mm-hmm. He's not laundering money at all through Gould. So it starts, she's a freight business? He puts that together immediately. She's a fucking freight business. Oh shit. He's the distribution captain for these people. That's when he realizes, and not to mention he sees the name on the back of the trucks, like he knows what's going on now. He knows much more who he's dealing with. And I think he feels a little bit safer as to his involvement.
Mm-hmm. No, I tend to agree with you as well. He's starting to feel a little bit more comfortable in his surroundings in this world and feeling like safe and feeling like he has security in this bad guy world as the vodka starts to hit me. I'm like, thank goodness that 20 push-ups just excelled the vodka, Joe. We're lucky no one else is getting a shot right now.
Oh my God, my arms won't work at all.
So we fast cut over to, and this is one thing about this episode compared to other Better Call Saul episodes. I feel like episode 9 had a much faster pace with how they were cutting scene to scene. Usually Better Call Saul lingers a lot at the end of shots. And I was only noticing this for note-taking purposes. The scenes were jumping very quick into scenes. I think they gained an extra 5 minutes just from not letting shots hang in this episode, just to put more stuff in. So we cut into the fast cut.
There was a lot in here.
There was a lot in this episode, Joey. Absolutely. We fast cut to the malpractice mediation. Chuck takes kind of the hard line with Hamlin. Let's listen to a little bit of this.
Have come to light.
New issues. You mean Mr. McGill's testimony at the bar?
That's a part of it, yes.
After 25 years of paying premiums, I can count on one hand the number of our claims.
This is an underwriting decision, that's all. You shouldn't take it personally.
In some special circumstances, we have been known to extend a rider.
What kind of rider?
A senior management level partner who would
So we can listen to this whole scene. Ultimately, it leads into Howard basically asking Chuck to step away. But Joe said this earlier, and I agree too. I think Howard, at this point, Go with the horse you know in this situation. You've gone this far with Chuck. You're going to abandon him at this point, and you're going to push him out the door because the insurance premiums are too high.
No, and if you're worried about his decision making, then check his fucking work. If you're worried about the work, check the work.
He's never screwed up in work, and that's the thing too. Except for the one thing
which was taking the stand.
Taking the stand in that situation, but I mean in his actual work, the only thing he's ever screwed up was the thing that Jimmy screwed up for him by changing the number.
He didn't screw that up. He did not screw that up, but the perception is he did.
Right.
But even Howard knows on some level that, yeah, okay, fine. Chuck is ill. And we all know Chuck is ill. And at some point, if everybody's telling you, you're drunk, Chuck. Okay, so he knows he's ill. But I think he knows enough to know that with everything that went on leading up to the bar hearing, that Jimmy, Slippin' Jimmy, did pull a fucking fast one, did change the numbers around, did do those things. He believes that. I think he's starting to question it, but I think that's where his mistake was. He's looking at the money of it all.
Yep, I agree. And Redwater, a couple of people were saying, so well done, the single frame. Somehow I'm supporting Chuck in this episode. Me too. They flipped it around with Chuck. And I agree. I was supporting Chuck. Because you know where I think Chuck's end game. We can talk a lot about where we think these characters are going to end because we know a lot of it leads into Breaking Bad. With Chuck, I think we also know where the end is. I think Jimmy said that it's going to end with Chuck alone somewhere, dealing with the fact that he abandoned his family and over a small legal matter, or whatever it's worth. I think Jimmy has already told us where Chuck's end is. It's going to be a lot like Junior Soprano. I don't want to ruin The Sopranos for anybody that hasn't watched it, but it's going to end very similar, I think, for Chuck, where he's just alone and with no one wanting to actually associate with him anymore. He's alienating everyone. Maybe some of this is Howard, but this is what's going to keep Chuck alive, the fight. And the fact that Howard's not going to try to use that to the best ability. Pink Floyd, when Syd Barrett lost his mind, both Roger Waters and David Gilmour, the guitar player and the bass player for Pink Floyd, recorded with the guy that they had kicked out of the band, recorded his albums because they knew they could still get greatness out of them in the right situations. It should be the same situation with Howard in this situation. He shouldn't abandon Chuck. He should use him for what he's good at. Working through paperwork, maybe eventually going in the courtroom in slam dunk situations, not when he's being attacked. There's nothing wrong with him. You got to pay a little extra premium for a year until you prove he's okay.
Right. You sue the shit out of that. You sue the ever living shit out of that insurance company. You stop at nothing to fucking make them go under. And from what it seems like, Howard and McGill, Howard, whatever, it's a firm that can do that to these people. Sure. And he should have doubled down with Chucky and gone right the fuck after them. And then, and seen how that went. And if that didn't go the way it was planned, then said to Chuck, hey.
Exactly, Joe. And Red Water says, shine on your crazy diamond. That song was definitely played at my wedding. Actually, the whole first 2 hours of the wedding was all Pink Floyd. So if Chuck runs out of money and can't go out into the world, it may be more than he could handle. I agree if he runs out of money, but he is deserving of that $8 million. Jimmy made sure.
Jimmy had been trying to get that for him for the previous 2 seasons.
Yep. So
he had been trying to say, listen, retire him. Cash him the fuck out. Do it.
Agree, Joe. Scout says, agree, Joe. Chuck built the firm. And he says that to Howard. I believe it's in this episode where he just basically breaks it down to him. Your father had no clients.
A 2-room office.
A 2-room office. I made this firm. I
tutored your ass through the fucking bar.
You're my Kim, bitch. You know,
yes.
Basically,
exactly what he said to him.
Basically said, you're my Kim, bitch. Jesse Pinkman's on his shoulder going, yeah, bitch. It's fucking great. Okay, so Hamlin can't be partners with someone whose judgment he doesn't trust. Go fuck yourself. So our next scene is Kim with clients. The Kim stuff could just be summed up. Kim does some stuff. Kim's rude to Jimmy because she's busy, because she's trying to pay for everything. Kim gets into a car accident because she's running herself too ragged.
Right, but there's a little foreshadow moment there when they're at the oil field, right?
Right. And the
oil dude's like, "You okay out here on your own?" And she's like, "Yeah, I'm fine." So on your own, right? And then she's fine. And what happens? She immediately hits the gas. Her wheel gets caught up in the sand, and she can't move. So she goes and grabs a plank, pushes the car out, and the car almost gets into an accident without her behind the wheel, but it still almost crashes. So there's a little bit of a foreshadow moment there for the end, where she basically says to Jimmy, "I'm fine. Get out. We can't do this now. I need to be, off alone, getting this job done."
No,
and she has the big accident. So there's a nice little foreshadow of her needing to be alone. And then
I totally missed that, Joe. Excellent pickup. And our next scene was probably my favorite episode. My favorite scene of the episode, Howard and Jimmy talking about Sandpiper.
What are you doing here, Jimmy?
We have business to discuss.
Is this about Chuck?
Who?
If you actually have business, then call my secretary.
I did. She stonewalled me as if you didn't know. Sandpiper.
What about it?
It's time to settle. I saw the current offer. The clients make their losses back, plus a solid chunk of change.
Not that it's any of your business, but we project a final number far higher than the current offer.
I get it. You hold out. Maybe you squeeze $1,000 more for each client. Meanwhile, HHM nets a few million. You're screwing the clients for your own benefit.
Oh, so now you're worried about the clients.
It's the right thing to do, and you know it.
Please. All you care about is your share of the payout. It's like talking to Gollum. You're transparent and pathetic.
But see, that's the same thing you're doing, Howard. What Jimmy says is you're squeezing an extra grand out for each client. That's not going to do much for each client. But you're holding out for millions more. So you're dare to fucking call me Gollum when you know that you and your fucking firm have fucking put me out on my ass where I need fucking money, and you're squeezing them for more of your fucking precious. Go fuck yourself, you self-righteous piece of shit. Throughout this whole episode, Howard is starting to show his true colors. He turns his back on Chuck. He fucking goes and tells Jimmy, "You're fucking Golem, but my greed, my incessant fucking greed, which has made me turn my back on your fucking shithead brother, is not as fucking pitiful as the need, as your need for money, for a fucking living wage, where you've ruined his career. You fucking piece of shit, Howard." Every second. And last episode, with that shit with Kim in the restaurant, and then this shit, it all is showing Howard's true fucking colors. All that, like, Charlie Hustle and all that fucking shit, right out the window. You sad, sorry sack of fucking cocksucker, you. Not that sucking cock is wrong and more people should do it.
Especially yours.
Hey, I'm not saying that, just, more people should do it.
This Joe Rant is brought to you by Audible. Please.
It actually is brought to them by Audible, isn't it?
Please check out the description box below this video to sign up for a free trial of Audible. Oh my fucking God. So our next scene is Hector and Gus. It's the meeting with Hector and Gus, and we talked about this a lot too. Don Ilario has ordered all of the drugs be sent through Hector and sent through Gus. I'm sorry. And Hector doesn't like it. He says, "Fuck you, motherfucker." And again, Nacho and Gus share some moments, which I do think is foreshadowing to them working together eventually to bring Hector to the state that we see him in Breaking Bad. So, nothing more to say really about that. Do you have anything else to say about the scene? I thought it was a very well shot scene.
Scout Teeny, you're right. He was looking for cash, but it's exactly what Howard's doing too. He's just got more cash on hand so he can wait longer for the bigger payout. Rant-a-tainment. I like that, Critch. That's that might be t-shirt worthy right there. Make sure you share that in the Discord. I do like that t-shirt suggestion group or suggestions. So Hector just is typical Hector. We get another more Hector and Gus stuff. I have a feeling that stuff's going to play out more in whatever the final season is as we lead into the time right before Breaking Bad. There's a lot of stuff to mine in that situation, but we do know ultimately where it ends up. I think unlike some other prequels, like say Star Wars or something where we know Anakin eventually ends up in the Darth Vader costume, I
saying, no, Padme, no, saying all that shit. Getting to the Hector point of going ding, 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 ding is a little bit more interesting of a perspective for me to see how exactly Gus Nacho forced that to happen. And I think, as I agree with Joe, that I think that might be a strain. They got to keep a couple strains going into the next season. And I think
that's the one.
That's one of the big ones that people love.
Because they got us on edge now. He's already taken it. They've built this up for 2 episodes, right? We had the episode where he gets the idea and he has the hash out with Mike there. Then we have the episode where he's trying to do the 3-point shot into the pocket and shit. And now we have the 3rd episode where he finally took a pill and it seemed to work.
Yeah, it seemed to work. And whether that's a slice to the pharmaceutical industry on how well pills work and how well placebos work, we can get into a whole different issue about that. But it seemed to work in that one situation. But this is a marathon, not a sprint. If you're poised.
Right, maybe how he ends up has nothing to do with what Ignacio ended up doing. Maybe that's just something he did to get it to happen, but didn't have anything to
actually work. Joe, you're that is very much a very cool, yet I'm not going to even say predictable, but an element of the Gilligan Gould universe is to do something you don't even expect. So there could be all this investment in the pill situation, and then Hector ends up getting shot by a complete rival situation and putting put in the wheelchair. That has nothing to do with anything that we've spent time with, and it comes out of nowhere. I would not be surprised if it ends up something like that.
I would think it'd be amazing, like if they're back down at the pool and it happens like poolside with Avi from Ray Donovan from Scarface.
Yep.
Like I like this. There's so much like that can be done that I can't wait to see it. I just really liked how, as much as I saw it coming, I really like how I really like that twinkle in his eye, that curl of the lip that he gives that fucker when the man down at the pool says he wants everything to go through the Chilean from now on.
Yeah,
like, backfire, bitch.
I'm sorry, I didn't ask for this, Don Hector.
Right,
Sorry.
you forced this on me. Remember that. And because the next time I go down there and talk to Pool Man, I'm gonna make him give me a cut of everything that I smuggle in for you because I'm taking all that extra fucking risk.
Thanks.
Boom.
Yeah, thanks, bitch. So
that might also put a damper on Hector's sights on Nacho's father's business.
Yep.
Because now there's no call for it, even though he's going to try to mirror what's being done. So this might be a situation where Hector's been told by the boss, you need to do all your product through the Chilean. And Hector decides, okay, well, I now have a business that I think I can work this through myself now. So does he start doing shit on the side that the guy by the pool doesn't know about? Gets him in trouble with him, pushes his heart attack little thing further, which goes along my saying about the other stuff. Who knows?
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what direction the end of this season goes into what I think is going to be the final season of.
Did I make any sense at all?
No,
I think I'm drunk.
Maybe I'm on the verge of drunk, Joe. I'm like, one shot away from being way too drunk. I also haven't eaten.
Don't anybody fucking donate.
Yeah, don't you do it. So the Hector,
do it.
Don't you do it. So the Hector and so no, you actually made a lot of sense to me. So then we go to the back of Bald Dude's head, and which I thought was Hank for a second, but it wasn't. And then we get full yoga tracksuit, power walking Saul. And he sees this group of ladies and they talk. Odenkirk is just so perfect. And he ends up isolating one of the older woman who's trying to follow them. And he gives her, I forget her name. I don't have it right here, but he gives her a pair of special shoes.
Irene.
Thank you, Joe. Irene. And then it goes.
Don Eladio.
And then it goes into an amazing montage of him talking shit about Irene, and it's just
twice in 1 week. How lucky am I?
Them fancy sketches.
I had no idea.
Me? Oh yeah, big time.
And he becomes the mall walker, and it gets into a Jimmy montage of basically poisoning everyone in the old age facility.
I love it. He had this set up. He gives her those fucking Sketcher like moon shoe, whatever. But when he gives it, he's like, "Oh, I got an extra pair for my girlfriend, but they didn't fit. What size are you?" And he runs out to his car and he pops the trunk, and there's 6, 6.5, 7, 7.5, 8, 8.5, 9, 9.5, 10, 10.5, 5, 5.5. Like he's got every size of this one pair of fucking shoe in his car. Every size. So no matter what she says, he's got it.
So much attention is spent to this con. He is an artist, Joe. He is a fucking artist.
How much did that trunk of shoes fucking cost him?
Worth the investment for
$50 a pair, average, right? What do you have? 10 pairs? It's a $500 trunk there for someone who's in trouble for money. Jesus. I spent my last dime on conning this bitch.
Well, he
better
probably
pay out $1.7 million.
Probably took it off the back of a truck somewhere. So he goes and he has the 1,000 pairs of shoes. He gives her one. We get the Jimmy montage of him telling all the seniors that this woman's wasting money and trying to be greedy and ultimately getting them all to poison her. So then from the silliness and very serious. So Lord Sebastian 101 says Saul is a cruel genius, and I love it. I love every minute of it. People that want to ask what that fine line, what that transition is from Jimmy McGill to Saul Goodman, it has happened. He might not be called Saul Goodman, but somewhere halfway through this season, once the betrayal of Chuck was valid and kind of went all the way through and hit completely home, Saul Goodman was.
Oh, this was it. This was it. This is pretty much the
this
episode.
This is the final straw. This is officially Saul Goodman.
I'm going to tell you why, and I'm going to tell you why right now.
I'm going to run off and get some water. I'll be right back.
Okay. Have we gotten? Okay, so this is the official start of Saul Goodman as far as I see it. Jimmy McGill has been temporarily disbarred, and his brother Chuck McGill is now. His reputation has taken a big scathing chip to it. So you have what's going to be by the time Jimmy gets back to practicing law, you're going to have the McGill name kind of ruined. Okay. Now that's not what makes this the episode that Jimmy McGill is finally Saul. What makes it that is the ending is when he walks back into his office. Okay, he sees Kim, and Kim is like she's busting her ass with the secretary, trying to put together the last of the packages for this oil tycoon guy, and she wants to get that job done. It's an extra job. It's more focus and more attention than she needed. And it's partly because she feels the stress of Jimmy having lost his license, and she wants to keep this practice afloat, and she might need that extra money in the future. So she takes on this extra client. Now, when he walks in and says, "Congratulate me, I bought this extremely expensive bottle of booze, and they're settling, and I'm going to have all this money. Come on." Her first reaction is, "What? That's really fucking quick. How did that happen?" She knows immediately something's up, but she doesn't have time to really think about it or talk to Jimmy. What the fuck did you do? What did you do to make that happen? Because it's years away from actually happening. That when she wakes up from her car accident, she's going to know that all this extra that she's been pushing herself is because of Jimmy. And Jimmy is out there not protecting himself and not doing the right thing, thinking about the future that he might have with her in a law practice, the future that he might have with her as being in a couple. This is the moment that Kim sees that everybody's right about Jimmy. He's a fucking con artist. Yeah, he's a con. This is the moment. This is the episode that she knows that for sure. So this is the episode that Jimmy is born, and it's going to be born in her mind, and she's going to confront him about it next episode. He can't go back to law as a McGill. Again, he's been partially disbarred, and his brother his reputation is taking a big thing. So by the time the year is up and all the shit that Jimmy's doing, it's going to get him to have to practice law under a different name, one that is not the McGill name. I think this is it. This is the episode, really. This is the long con that he's running. When he comes back to law, he won't be McGill. He'll be Saul with that 1.7 million, that fancy office all decked out, all that shit.
And that's how he'll get the money to build the office and do all of that. So
right.
So Joe,
it's technically not the episode. There's also one other part that I wanted to mention too about when he's doing that bingo, and the end part of this long con. There's one shot in particular that we see the back wall of the bingo hall, and what's painted on that back wall looks like, to me, the Wexler McGill logo, that WM, where he's like, it doesn't look like the stock market's crashing, does it? But in that rendition of it that's on the back wall of that bingo parlor, it is diving through the floor. It's a mountain range that just dives right through the fucking floor. So filled with ups and downs, not just the Wexler McGill. And it's, you know, it's a different color scheme. So to me, it was like, this was the breaking of the Wexler McGill firm. This was the episode that did it. She's working herself so hard. She's going to look at it like, what the fuck did you just do? And I've been working so hard. And because I've been working so hard, I just almost died. And you're out there fucking conning these old ladies instead of letting shit just happen.
Yeah, she's going to end up blaming him for the whole situation when it really comes down to it. So Joe, that was fucking genius. Joe, that was amazing. I wish I had the opposite of a shut the fuck up Joe to play that, but all I have to counterbalance that is, let's go from one genius to another motherfucker. Our favorite Better Call Saul voicemailer and commenter, our good friend, one of the best, Big motherfucking J, is back in the house.
Woohoo! Awesome.
Play a Big J voicemail. And if you're listening out there, Big J, lots of love to you, my friend.
Oh, big time, Big J.
Big J over here calling you from the pool.
You bastard! You called from a pool, you son of a bitch.
It is not what Don Ilario. It is Big J is the guy from the pool.
Big J, fuck Don Ilario. We got Big J at the pool.
Pool. In the pool with little Anthony. Loved the show last night. I miss you guys, man. Loved the fucking show. I thought that was the funniest shit. Jimmy McGill with his Olivia Newton-John headband. Space shoes that he gave the old lady. He played her like a fiddle. I felt a little big. I did feel bad when she was crying, but
I did too.
Man, it was she acted really good for an older lady. It was an awesome. I'm gonna miss this show so much, man.
And I agree, Big J. The older woman who played the part, she did an amazing job acting with Bob Odenkirk. There's a lot of fun stuff going on there. And Big J, as always, fucking bringing his A game here. Love you, Big J.
Looked a little big. I did feel bad when she was crying, but I tell you, man, she acted really good for an older lady. It was awesome. I'm gonna miss this show so much, man. That's my little man screaming over there. With Swimmies on. I'm gonna miss this show, man. I can't believe there's only one more episode. I thought the acting all around was awesome. And what I really liked was the accident scene with Kim. The way she was just driving and her head hit the fucking airbag. I mean, just the way they did it, you know? I guess that's it for now. I'm in the pool with the little man, so I just wanted to say what's up and say, sorry, we only got one more episode. They're definitely going to have, obviously, another season next year. I don't know what's up with Hector. I was still standing, taking all that ibuprofen instead of Call Saul, but I thought the old lady was a good actor yesterday. You know?
Yeah, I agree.
All right, brother.
He should have filled it with diphenhydramine.
Take another
He
swim.
should have filled it with sleeping pill instead. Benadryl.
But Big J, have a great time in the pool. Thank you so much for checking on in. Lots of love to Big J and his whole family. You're fucking amazing, buddy. Thank you.
He should have filled it with Coke. Why didn't he fill it with Coke?
Or arsenic or glass. Like if date back to Oz, just feed the bastard glass. But no, and I agree. I agree with what Big J was saying. The old woman elicited so many emotions out of me through this episode, Joe. I felt for her.
For half a second there, I thought Jimmy was going to come clean.
No.
Half a second.
That's how good he is, Joe. That's how fucking good he is. He makes you think he's a good guy.
He makes you think he cares.
So to our most serious or emotional moment of the episode, we go to Nacho and his father talking, and he explains his father the situation that's going on with Don Ilario. His father's very sweet to him, but not Don Ilario, Hector. And once he tells his father the thing, he's like, don't worry.
His father's not sweet to him. He says, get the fuck out.
I mean, at first, his father's sweet to him. But once he tells him the thing, his father's like, get the fuck out of my house. And he's like, no, wait. It's not going to take too long. And his father's like, no. He's like, don't do anything stupid. Now, has there ever been a situation ever of existence that when someone tells somebody not to do something stupid, that said person doesn't do something stupid?
Don't donate.
Yeah, don't donate. Joe wants to take another shot. Joe, either way, at the end of this episode,
I already put the cap back on. Good. I don't want to take another shot.
No, O'Reilly and Adebisi to do the deed. Yeah, they crushed the glass up. Winter design. I love when the Oz fans show their head. Oz review is coming soon, people. I've been rewatching.
The show's called Oz.
It's about
naked men.
Bum. Okay, so we go to Nacho and his father, which have a great emotional scene. Very well done, very well acted. So then we go to Hamlin, who starts to read Chuck's letter, and I love the whole Hamlin and Chuck situation because Hamlin is such a douche, and it makes you take side in the situation. It's funny.
Yeah, awesome. He's retiring. Who the fuck do you think you are, fucking asshole?
What I need you to do: call around, find someplace special for the retirement party, something classy, old school, La Posada maybe, and a band, something jazz. Upbeat. Find what's available.
Like you really thought Chuck was going to go quiet into this good night?
Yeah, bullshit.
This
guy's all piss and vinegar and bravado. I am the best there ever was. Or he's like LeBron James. I'm the best that plays the game. Go fuck yourself.
He is pretty good, though, Chuck.
Yeah, he's definitely probably the best thing.
He's probably the best player in the game. Yeah, all in all, he's probably the best player in the game. But
he might be. I don't want to say it, but he might be one of the best that's ever played the game. But different generations, and different styles, different type of basketball.
Dude,
So,
he's
fucking good.
Strong and fast.
Really
Fuck that dude. He's fucking crazy. Okay, so
but he's not a Celtic, so he can go fuck himself.
Fuck him. Speaking of people who is just like one of the team, like if we were the Celtics, on our team would be the Walking David, and we're lucky to have the Walking David on our fucking team. So
the
Walking David in the live motherfucking chat right now. Sam, who's trying to escape from her prep class at Super Bowl.
Dude, he's making a movie, dude.
He's making
a movie. Like not just acting in it, but like he's making it.
Makes movies, Joe. The Walking David. He's not just talking about shit like us.
He's not just an impressionist. He's an actual movie fucking maker, dude.
He's a fucking movie maker. One day he's gonna make a movie. I'm gonna work
and
with
he's gonna end up, this kid's gonna end up rich and famous, and he's gonna look back at all the great times he had watching us. He's gonna leave us out in the cold and the reeds to die.
He's totally gonna hate us. Yeah, we're gonna be that like black mark in his history. He's gonna be like, yeah, remember when I
can't believe I watched those foul mouth
fucking foul mouth hippie assholes. Yeah, put them in a movie. Yeah, my ass. My ass, Cheech and Chong, my dick. Yeah, whatever.
We're just shameless tonight, Phil. We're shameless.
I know. We're awful tonight. I think this should be our tact from now on, Joe.
Hey, we're back. We haven't been here in 2 weeks. We got to get it all
back. We're insecure. We're getting older. Come on.
We're here. We're insecure.
Get used
I don't know what rhymes with that.
I love you, foul mouth hippie. I don't know. Let's be sure, Joe. We're insecure. Okay, so we love you guys. We love you too, David. We're just giving it a hard time. Okay, so we see Hamlin reading the letter. We're at the point where Jimmy's about to cheat at bingo. Joe's talked about this a little bit, but let's listen to a little bit of Jimmy cheating at bingo.
When I was 29, I bet you do too. I 29.
So
here comes 62. Oh my God. Have I called 62 of these already? Feels like it. 62.
So Jimmy basically ultimately sets this
up. I'll be right back.
Okay, cool. He ultimately sets this up to cheat at bingo, to set up Irene to win, to even give her more clout and more attention, so the people would hate her even more, so she would have this breakdown and get into this emotional state so he could step in there and control her life like a puppet master that Jimmy McGill / Saul Goodman is, and he has ultimate power. So I love it. Every single moment of it. Full Saul Goodman, no chill whatsoever. Just does not give a shit about anything. Sees the $1 million. Howard is right. I think Howard made a mistake several times in this episode, but ultimately when Howard calls him Gollum and that he's like sick, my precious bullshit, he is right. He is calling Jimmy out on his bullshit. I mean, Jimmy may be right essentially about giving these people their money before it's too late for them to spend, like Joe was saying, but he's also just being a selfish fucking prick and can think about nothing but his money in his situation with Kim. It's that situation where he can feel his relationship, his ultimate, in his mind, love or setup with the two offices falling away. And he's going to do anything right now to protect that. And ultimately, he's going to destroy everything to get there. It's almost funny. Rigged bingo, Saul side. And yeah, he sets her all up and eventually ends up to this emotional scene with Irene. This emotional scene. Is this the emotional scene with Irene? Oh no, this is Saul cheating.
Locked and loaded.
Here we go. I said great editing. Bob Odenkirk would be the greatest bingo host ever. Can I hire Bob Odenkirk to come to my bingo party?
Bingo night with Bob Odenkirk. That would be an awesome fundraiser.
Dude, I would spend hundreds of dollars to go, and then I don't have. I would shovel someone's snow for a while and make just enough money to go see Bob Odenkirk perform bingo.
I heard everything you said there about Howard and Bob and their little interaction. Again, I got to reiterate that yes, he is right. You are correct. He is right about Bob Odenkirk and being Gollum and wanting his fucking money. But in that same respect, that's exactly what Howard is doing and what Davis and Maine are doing by holding out even longer, by rejecting that first offer. That's exactly what they're doing. They're holding out for more money. They're not thinking about those clients.
That's the basis of law. Like, isn't that their business?
No. That is their selfishness. That is their greed. If they're really truly thinking about the clients, they should be thinking about their age, about the money. It's not that much more for the $1,000 to wait another 5 years, maybe 10 years. Who the hell knows? These things take a long time, those class action suits. So, but Howard, it's one step further. It's not just about the fucking greed with him. It's about, fuck you, Jimmy. Fuck you. You've ruined everything. So no, I'm not going to sign off on it. I'm not going to counsel that they get their money. I'm not going to sign off on any of that. You can fucking wait, you piece of shit. You're not going to get anything early. I'm not going to do you any fucking favors. You've ruined my fucking law practice. So there's also that aspect behind Howard as well. That petty, greedy bullshit. Howard is just as guilty as being a Gollum as he is accusing Jimmy of.
And true. It's the poker spite call, essentially, or spite waiting until your clock time dings so you can wait just to frustrate your opponent in that situation. Scout says true, Joe, and of course the law firm gets the biggest chunk.
Exactly. So they're going to get even more money. It's going to be even better for them to wait than it is for the clients to wait.
And Sam also agrees with you, Joe. So
Jimmy would get even more money too. Jimmy would get much, much more money as well.
Yeah, but he's like, $1 million is enough for what I need.
1.7 is fine. What do I need 2.3 for?
Yep. And Jen S says, I love how these characters aren't one-dimensional. Even the villains. I love to hate them, and I hate to love them. They're real people. Big J says that a lot. That's something we talked a lot last season about, that what makes this show compelling is the fact that all these characters are relatable human beings.
They're people.
They're people. And I mean, that doesn't mean I don't like shows where we have characters that are superheroes or that are fucking sons of gods and have like powers and dragons and shit, whatever. Like, I like that too. But on this show, or even super meth cooks and geniuses and shit like that, but what's compelling about Better Call Saul, just to talk about that, is the fact that these characters, I can relate to every single one of them. They're real situations that on some level that you can comprehend because you've been in almost a similar one. I think that's the credit to the show, to make real life. I mean, some stuff's outrageous, like, when we get into the cartel stuff, but even still, some of that like workplace drama between Hector and Gus you can relate to, where someone is the darling and you're the fucking piece of shit that no matter how hard you try and you're an asshole, you're like, why do people hate me? I'm still an asshole. That's the story of my life. That I'm a fucking asshole, and I'm like, why are people mean to me? Because you're an asshole.
Right.
So Irene, we're talking about the Irene bingo scene, or I mean so Irene ends up winning, but she runs out of the room when no one cheers for her and she cries. So Jimmy goes after her and they talk about the situation, and he's just so full of shit with her. He's just talking to her and he's trying to comfort her, but it's so dirty. It's so dirty.
Mascara's gonna run all over.
She's probably not even wearing mascara.
No, she's not.
That's just a flattering line.
Oh, and
your eyes look so nice and dark.
I see you using your beer glass, Joe. Toast to you, my friend.
Who has?
My friends, Helen, Rose, Myrtle.
It's not a beer glass, Phil. It's very definitely a 2 beer glass.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Yes.
A growler.
They're so cold. When I walk past them, they stop talking, and I hear them whispering when they think I'm not there. It's just so. It's so
awful.
So ultimately, through all of that, he manipulates her and ultimately gets her to do his bidding, convinces her that the reason why they're all upset at her is because she hasn't settled. She's going to settle. Our next scene is he shows up back at the office with a bottle of tequila that's
really expensive shit too.
Really expensive tequila, and this is one of those Breaking Bad references. It is the same bottle of tequila, I believe, that when Gus brings to the pool that ultimately poisons everybody. It's the same brand of tequila. So it's sort of a Breaking Bad Easter egg within itself. And Kim is just on high motor. She can't stop for a second.
Which is then another foreshadow to her accident and the finishing of the Wexler McGill law firm.
Mm-hmm. And she ultimately just runs out of there, and Jimmy forces Francesca to take shots with him. So
yeah, that's most definitely not just an Easter egg. That is a definite device, literary or cinematic device that they use there. It's like in The Sopranos, everybody mentioning the oranges in that last episode and drawing it to The Godfather and the oranges and choking on the fucking orange, right? Right. So in this case, this bottle of tequila, which was prominently featured in the previous shit, it's definitely saying it's the death of something. This is the death of something.
Joe, anytime anyone references anything The Godfather, like a part of me orgasms. So thank you.
Hey, take the guns, leave the cannolis.
Leave
the guns, leave the guns, take the cannolis. Damn it!
Stop orgasming me. No. Sorry, everybody. I just disgusted half the audience. So Kim, we come across over to the Kim episode, and he wants a few minutes to celebrate, as we said. Give me a few minutes to celebrate, Kim.
For a bundle.
But they can't be settling. Class actions don't move that fast.
Boom.
Bog down in the sales. Trust me.
Yeah, you don't want to know the shit I had to do.
Well, that's great then.
Yeah. So, hey.
He just wants that celebration, and she won't give it to him.
Pulled another all-nighter here, you know. You got to stop and smell the roses. Hey, who's got 2 thumbs, a bottle of Zafiro, and 20% of the common fund? This guy.
I know.
And how much worse would that accident have been had you taken a shot or 2 for the 5 minutes?
Everything.
Could you just put these all in the car?
The Jimmy influence.
Give me 5 goddamn minutes.
Maybe she would have been all right. No.
5 more minutes to drive 6 to 55. What?
So ultimately, she won't have a drink with him. He has a drink with Francesca. She runs out of there. Then we go over to our next scene, which is Kim practicing in the car, and she's doing her thing that we've seen right now.
So hold on. I got to say, this scene started and she's recording, right? And the first thing Katie says is, I got a bad feeling about this. And I said, right? She started recording before her car got stuck in the sand. And then she goes, yeah, something's not right here. And I say, it's almost as if we're going to see a truck hit him from the side through that driver's side window right there. And then I started a countdown. 5, 4, and I got to 1 and nothing happened. But for some reason I said 0. And when I said 0, she was like, the accident it was the most perfect fucking timing. that I've ever had on one of those calls. It was unbelievable. And both Katie and I called it. We knew exactly what was about to happen.
I have to admit, I did not call it, and it blindsided me and kind of got a jump scare out of me a little bit. I was just like, whoa, what the fuck just
Us too, because when I hit 1, we were both like, I guess not. But then I said 0 anyway, and it was like, it was literally, it was that Freddy Krueger, I fell asleep by blinking my eyes kind of like moment when that accident happened. It was really, really fucking well done. And I loved the fact that you didn't see it. I was wrong about seeing it coming from that driver's side window. So it made it even better. It made it that much better for me.
So well done. And then Kim gets into a car accident and is able to walk away from it, but we don't know what kind of internal injuries she has or what kind of effect this is going to have in her long term. Joe seems to hint that he thinks maybe this will be the impetus for her to break her relationship with Jimmy Saul, because she's going to see this as pushing herself too far to protect him and to keep the business running and such.
She doesn't need that big building, that big office. I know that half is paid for, but how long can Jimmy sustain this over the year? He's hustling fucking commercial time that he spent. He's got nothing coming in.
He doesn't like Francesca. He doesn't really like the office. She doesn't want to work that crazy hard. And if she does, she wants to just be all herself and not even connected to this guy. I think we may see the end of their relationship next week.
I think you're right about that.
Yeah, I do. So let's listen to scenes for next week here.
Call Saul. I'm willing to let bygones be bygones. And if you agree, I think we can settle all this right now.
Okay. So they made it seem like Chuck was talking to Jimmy there, but no, he's talking to Howard. So is Howard going to call his bluff? Because we've seen that Chuck is pretending to be better than he is. Is Howard going to... How is that situation going to come to a head in the next episode?
I think Howard's going to cave.
You think Howard's going to cave?
Here's the thing. If Howard... I don't know. I have no fucking idea. I want to say Howard caves, but if Howard caves, that leaves Wexler McGill, that leaves HHM around for the start of Breaking Bad, which is never referenced.
So this show is too fucking awesome. I have no clue what's going to happen. And
Howard's not going to cave. That place is burning to the fucking ground from that lawsuit.
I agree, dude.
Howard's going to dig his fucking heels in. Chuck's going to dig his heels in. Chuck, I don't know if Chuck lives, but Chuck is going to take his $8 million and fucking skedaddle do.
Yeah, exactly. Whatever he thinks.
Fucking beer and vodka and push-ups.
Scout says Howard does no balls. Nice call back from the nap scene 3 episodes ago. Awesome cut in the crash scene, says Scout. Family says, I like how we see the accident from Kim's point of view, or how it must have seemed to her and not the camera on the car actually going off the road and hitting a rock. Exactly. We got inside her head and saw the perspective of what it must have felt like from her.
Yeah, it's so well done.
And that's how accidents happen. Anyone who's ever been in an accident know it feels almost exactly like that. Like nothing.
Sometimes.
Then
sometimes you see it coming and you're like,
whoops.
Bam.
So let's continue here.
Simple handshake.
Where's the puppy?
So Hector trying to more proactively go after Nacho's father's business as a source. I don't think that's going to end well. I think that's going to be, I agree with Joe, that something's going to kind of be left held up in the air at the end of this episode because it's more of a Breaking Bad story point to lead through. I think when it comes down to it, most of the Better Call Saul proper storylines are the ones that are going to be ending, and then season 4 will possibly be more of a transitional season leading into setting up the universe in which Breaking Bad starts.
I had to do it all over again.
I think next season we'll have our either a Walt at a car wash, or a Jesse
in a courtroom with Ignacio as one of Nacho's friends or something like that.
Yes.
Yeah. Or even we know at this point in time, I talked about this last season, but at this point in time, Jesse's also playing in a band. So he could be in a club where Jesse is the drummer of a band. So that Ignacio.
There's a lot they can do, and I can't see Bryan Cranston, who is a fucking gig whore, who will do a spot on absolutely just about any fucking show he can, or even Jesse Pinkman, the actor, doing Aaron Paul doing a spot on this show, knowing that this is from the creators that gave them pretty much.
They both are quoted to say
so much.
They want to do it. They're like,
they do. They both want in at least one episode.
Yeah, they both want in big time.
And if they're going to make next season the last season, hopefully we get them both in 2 different episodes, or maybe even a couple of small, quick interactions or something.
I think once we have the last season is when you're going to see the Jesse and the Walt cameo. I don't think this show will go off the air without at least one of them making some sort of.
I hope we get them both, but I don't want to be, a greedy little fucking Gollum over it.
I'm totally Gollum about it. They're my precious. Red Walrus wants to know if we'll see Hank ever. I do think Hank's more likely one even than Walt and Jesse when it really comes down to it, because they could
courtroom scene,
or a DEA, just some DEA reaction to something that Hector does, or Hector creates some big scene of some sort, and Hank shows up in the scene or something. Like I could see a few moments of Hank showing up. I wonder about the actor himself. And
well, he's on another show right now, which is what is it, like Claws or something like that, where he's like, so he might be really busy and might not be on. I don't think we're going to get a Hank sighting. I think they'll probably try to push for a Jesse or a Walt.
Yeah, I think Jesse is a definite. I don't think Walt is the harder one. I think Jesse fits into this world because of the connection to Ignacio and the connection of knowing Saul as being the person that introduces Saul to Walt, that he knows that
it's really easy to put Walt in. It's really easy. You have a scene that takes place in a car that goes through the car wash, and Walt takes their fucking money. It's small. It's a cameo. It's an Easter egg. It doesn't put highlight on him. It doesn't make him the focus of an episode. It's just quick. It's just, there he is. He takes the money for the car wash. That's where he's working right now.
Joe, I do have to stop for a second and say, I guess you make a good point, Joe. But I'm looking at from area code 705. I think it's from Scout, who I mentioned the Godfather. So sent me a picture of their super motherfucking cute dog, the Dogfather, named after the Snoop Dogg second solo album, the Dogfather. The Dogfather. Sorry, you mentioned the oranges in the Godfather. I had to share. This is Scout, a.k.a. Jeff. Jeff, thank you so much for your support and watching it. And that is a fucking cute motherfucking dog. Oh, it's so cute with a little orange in its mouth. Oh, it's super cute. Quixote ninjing in the back. Yes, Zelda was announced today. So that is our episode of Better Call Saul. Anything else you want to say about this episode, Joe?
Great fucking episode. Yeah, Scout, as far as one more season, we kind of talked about that at the beginning of this podcast. You can check it out, why we think there might only be one more season. But nothing really I need to say more about this episode aside from just give me fucking more.
Yep. And I don't think you're going to be with us next week to talk about the finale. Hopefully we'll get you on a podcast in the midweek, just kind of like a shit around podcast where you can talk a little bit about the finale of Better Call Saul. But Joe, thank you as always for joining us this season. You are the fucking best. Everybody.
Oh no, you were the best. And congratulations on your wedding. Stephanie was absolutely fucking gorgeous for anybody who wasn't there.
Hold on. We're not ending quite yet.
And you look like a goddamn bum.
Here we go. One more time. I just ending Saul, and then we can talk about that stuff. Everybody, have a good night. Goodbye.
Peace.
Okay. Now we're gonna end the show in a few minutes. This isn't gonna be a long stream, but I'm gonna do a stream like this alone later, so I might repeat information if people hear this twice. But since I have Joe on here and we're babbling a little bit, yes, I am back from my honeymoon. We had our wedding. We were at the wedding. Yes, Joe, I did look like shit. I had almost like a mullet kind of haircut going on, right?
Yep. No, you looked good. You looked really good.
Fuck you. I had like a mullet.
We all looked really fucking good. I got to say, I looked the fucking best, but oh well. I mean, it can't be everybody's day.
No, everyone can't look the fucking best. But everybody, if anyone is just here for Better Call Saul, I highly recommend turning this off. This is just going to be a random bullshitting for about 10 minutes or so here as we wrap up the show and just babble. It's good to be back. So yeah, it was a good time. A relatively fun wedding, right, Joe? A lot of good.
I had a blast. So there was one point after we hit the tent, right? The tent, we're in the tent, and there's a few of us standing just outside the tent, and this really, not really old guy, but this older gentleman, maybe in his
the like 100 proof whiskey before we got met.
Yes, he was in his mid 60s, I would say, maybe a little bit older than that. And I hear out of the corner, I'm standing there talking to three people, and I hear Joe, and I look over my shoulder, and it's him, and like a 70-year-old woman, and another 60-plus-year-old man standing in the corner on the outside the tent at this temple, which is right up next to the temple, right? And he goes, psst. And so I look over, and the three of them are eating a sandwich.
Yep,
right,
totally sandwich. Totally eating a sandwich.
I'm like, how do they know to call me over to have a bite of a sandwich? Thank God you did. And it was from that moment on that this wedding just opened up for most of the guests, and everybody cut loose and had a great fucking
There was a lot of sandwiches. I got a pizza delivered to the wedding.
There's not supposed to be cheese under the same roof, dude.
It wasn't supposed to be cheese in the thing because of like some bullshit, and I snuck a pizza in and ate pizza in the situation. There was a lot of sandwich eating going on. I will unpack this completely. If Joe's around, he's welcome to join me. I might do it tomorrow night, or I might do it on Thursday night. So I'll get more into things, but it was a good time. Phil, are you going to talk about American Gods stream as a whole? We're going to talk about the remaining season. I have not watched more than episode 1.
I've watched all of them.
You have, Joe?
Oh fuck yeah! You hooked me. Episode 1 hooked me. I've watched every episode. I
don't mind being a little spoiled. Do you want to talk a little bit about your thoughts of American?
I think they're all absolutely brilliant. I like how the story is told through the eyes. Oh God, it's a very it's very hard to talk about. This is definitely a show that would actually be worthy of episode by episode breakdowns, because there's so much lore.
So you think season 2 we should do episode recaps?
I really would. There's so much, and it's brilliantly told. It's visually stunning in a lot of ways. There's the creators, the showrunners, have taken some liberties from the original materials. There's different aspects of storytelling in this show where they do highlights, much like Walking Dead does, where they'll focus on one character or one little thing for a while for most of the episode. So they do this, and they took a little liberty with one of these stories that has to do with the leprechaun in tying it into one of the other stories, or the main story. I kind of wish they hadn't done that, because I liked how they were separating it all. Anybody who's watching kind of knows what I'm talking about. And I know I'm being really vague to other people, but it's just brilliantly put together. It's a storytelling. It's a way of telling stories that I haven't really seen much on television. It's very deep. There's a lot of theology going on. There's a lot of underlying, I don't even know how to explain it. It's just really American Gods, just fucking very abstract and grounded. I don't know how to like.
No, I can't wait to catch up on it. It's definitely on my list of shows. Maybe I think I'll do a live watch kind of thing of the remaining of the whole season. Do kind of like a watch through or something. But I am going to watch it and talk about it, and maybe leading into season 2, we'll do weekly recaps. Is season 1 done, or is it a break?
I think it's they got I think they just finished episode 7, maybe 8. I think 7 was the other night, and it's probably going to be about 10 episodes, I would imagine. And I really can't wait for I can't wait for the season finale. I can't wait for the end of to see where this story wraps up for the season. There's so much going on right now, and they've spent so much time with these kind of side stories.
Oh, Critch says it's the finale on this coming Sunday.
Yikes.
Horrible. Nah, Joe, only 8 episodes, says Broken. Critch says finale this Sunday, unfortunately. So that's cool. It's 8 episodes. It's easy for me to catch up. So before I let you go, Joe, because I know we're starting to wrap up, I do want to talk about a couple of things while I have you here, and I might do a separate stream on this, but fuck it. I'm not trying to like get pushes or something. I just want to talk about this. There's 2 things that have come up about Game of Thrones since we've taken a break. One, we got the episode lengths, which I'll talk about in a different podcast. Ultimately, we've got the episode names and the lengths that we could go through each episode, but we'll do that in a separate show. What I did want to talk to you about here now is we got our 7 episodes. This is just a rumor. Nothing's left concrete yet. But ultimately, it's looking like, or there are rumors that season 8 or season 7 part 2, however you want to look at it, might not actually come out until 2019.
Wait, so a 2-year break?
Basically, this ends in July right now, and then it might not, and then we have
another year and a half. It'll be back on schedule for a spring start, I think.
Probably in 2019.
So yeah, no, and I guess I'm kind of okay with that because I know what they have to do with it. Listen. I'm not okay with
short. Okay with that for 6 fucking episodes? We have to wait a year.
I'm not okay with short seasons. I'm not okay with short episodes. I'm not okay with waiting a year and a half. But I would rather wait a year and a half than have HBO go, you know what? This last season.
That's not going to happen, Joe. They're not just going to not do it. My problem is that if we're only going to get 7 episodes this season, I hope that we had to wait like less than a year.
No, and they did this shit with fucking The Sopranos. They were like, we got 5 more episodes and you have to wait an extra half a year for this bullshit. Fuck you, HBO. I'm not okay with it. Fuck you, HBO. You tell them to get back on fucking schedule. They're spending all this fucking money. Yeah, sure, they got to go here and they got to go there and they got to go here. And they got to get all the scheduling and all the contracts. Go fuck yourself. Do your job.
Joe,
do your job.
Joe, you're gonna love this. I'm blaming Westworld. It's Westworld's fucking fault because Westworld's like, yeah, we're not coming out with a season until we're ready. And like Dan and Dave are probably looking at the Nolans and being like, oh wow,
you're right. Westworld sucks.
They can come out with a season whenever they want. Or looking at
you're right. Westworld sucks.
But fuck
you. Have to go further into it, dude. Westworld sucks, and it's sucking for everybody, even those who don't watch the fucking show.
You're a motherfucker. I didn't use this as an opportunity for you.
You said it. You said it. You said it. You're right.
Asshole. You dirty asshole. No, but I think it's their fault for wanting to stretch, and they said, oh, the next season might not be out next year. We might wait 2 years until the season's right. Larry David, they gave basically Curb Enthusiasm.
If you're gonna blame Westworld, you have to blame The Sopranos.
I'll blame The Sopranos too. I'll blame but it's not necessarily. I think HBO. The problem HBO has is they give too much leeway. They're like, oh yeah, do what you want. Just give us programming. That's all we care about. Like
we just want good programming, not just programming. Good programming. They will give people. I don't think the Westworld is deserving of that treatment. They didn't prove themselves over 4, 5 seasons, 6 seasons. But Sopranos proved themselves over 4 seasons before they had that extra. Westworld has not.
Fair, but the same thing happened with season 1 where they were supposed to come out a year, then they had a year break. So it's kind of par of the course with the show. So the Nolan, Christopher Nolan's brother, I'm blanking on his name. He has earned the right in his filmmaking, the movies he's written, to be able to take as long as he wants to make his product. But
as long as he keeps coming up with good product, then
yeah, you might not like Westworld, but I do, and a lot of people do. And if he comes out with the same quality of season 1, it could take as long as I want. Game of Thrones is different because they've been doing 10 episode seasons on a certain schedule. And then for the last couple of years here, we're going to get this completely different way of doing it. First of all, we have to wait X amount of months till July to get 7 episodes instead of a 10 episode season. Okay. And then you think that maybe they would just continue that and maybe make us wait 6 months, 9 months or something before we get.
A lot of it has to do with the production. It's not just the filming, where in seasons 1, 2, 3, and 4, there's not that much fantastic shit that is CGI driven. There's a few big fucking wolves. There's a few walkers here and there. A giant.
You're saying huge dragon battles are to blame?
I'm saying that's going to be part of it because they got to make it look good. They got to make it look right. And this is serious movie level shit that they're going to be trying to put out.
Filmed all 13 episodes at the same time and then staggered release.
Agreed. Agreed.
I mean, that's what they should have done. Not separate this into 2 seasons. Make season 7 a 13-episode season.
Final season, correct. I agree. They're assholes for not doing that.
Yeah, that's fucking bullshit that it's a money grab to try to make it an 8th season 2 and now hype it up for a whole fucking year and a half. And, like, fuck you, dude. Fuck you. Okay?
Well, they got to let people have time to go back and rewatch or watch from the beginning because they haven't seen it.
Take care, Scout. Yeah, I guess, Joe, but ultimately it's an insult to the people that have been following in and are on a certain schedule that we've been waiting so long for George. So you have to emulate George's...
Right. Do your fucking jobs.
Do your job and have the season come out on time. Don't George Martin...
Send him a Patriot shirt. Do your job.
Don't George R. Martin this shit and push shit off and keep pushing it off and keep pushing it off. Do your job, and that's what made you okay. You made seasons every year, and I was okay with that. Don't make me wait for this bullshit because
I can't even imagine. I read these books 5 years ago, right? Like after season 1, between season 1 and season 2, I read the books. I can't even imagine having read book 1 when book 1 was published in the fucking 90s. And I'm waiting for book 6 still now.
What year was it? 92? 93?
I don't know. 90 motherfucking 20 years ago.
1 second.
20 plus years ago. Like, I can't even imagine having to wait for book 6 for the last 20 something years. Like, fuck you, George. Get off your goddamn ass. Stop with all this other bullshit that nobody wants to fucking read. And write us some goddamn Game of Thrones, motherfucker.
Brooks.
Yeah, I'm thinking 96 too.
96. Yeah, copyright 1996, George Martin.
Right? Straight up.
Do your fucking job. That's it.
I can't even imagine having to wait 21 years and still being like, when is book 6 coming out? Yeah. Like, I have to wait 5 years and I'm pulling my fucking dreads out and want to go over there and smack that man for twiddling himself instead of writing.
Again, Joe, for hype purposes, we probably should be doing this as no one cast, but I don't care. What are you more excited for, the end of the television series or finally getting a conclusion to the books?
Oh, so I fell in love with the television series first. I watched season 1, then read book 2, 3, 4, 5, book 1, then watched season 2 and beyond. So I think I fell in love with the show first, and it's definitely what got me to read the books. I'm not a big reader. Yeah. I think if it's good enough, they'll make a movie out of that shit. So
yeah. We're watchers. We're not readers. We're too dumb.
But I did, and I fell in love with the books, and each page was a fucking page turner. They're both so different, and they're both so good that I'll be a little disappointed that I don't get to read the end before I get to see.
Okay, so that was where I'm treading upon. You would rather in a perfect world, the entire book series to be completed before the end of the television series. You're a little
only because I've enjoyed the different, like being able to spot the differences in how the story diverges and how these showrunners have been able to get back to the same point by altering the events, but getting into the same place.
You're still going to be able to do that. It's just going to be reversed.
It's not going to be the same because George, as far as I'm concerned, is the storyteller, not them. They are the adapters.
So is it going to make you want, once George finishes the final 2 books, they're going to have to go back and do George's version of the final few seasons?
Yeah, what if George decides, you know what? I really didn't like the way that kind of came out, even though it's going to be different no matter what. I really don't like the way my thoughts and what I told them was going to be the ending actually played out, and he completely fucking changes all of it.
He says that it will have no influence on him, but that's bullshit. Once he sees how Dan and Dave interpret his particular ending, because we know the end point's the same, when he sees that live in front of him, he can't help but feel it on some level, and it can't help but...
So the only way he can do it, and to do it honestly and to do it naturally, is to basically not have watched last season.
Right. Or anything. And
well, that book apparently is already written. It's just being retuned. So he basically couldn't watch anything from last season on.
Right.
That's the only way it comes out unperverted and only as his work and not as influenced by David Day.
He watches every fucking episode.
Because it's so fucking good. Mm-hmm. Even he knows it's that good.
Yeah. All the people that hate on it, Yeah, whatever. It's the perfect interpretation of the Song of Ice and Fire universe. Whatever. It's a good television show. It's a good fucking TV show. And here at the Issues Guy, wherever the fuck we are, it's about TV. It's about awesome fucking television, and it's an awesome fucking television show.
Both series, book, television, they are unbelievable. I even read the fucking Dunk and Egg fucking book too, man. That shit's good.
The Bloody Talker. I have to give him lots of love. Bloody Talker gifted me the audio book. I haven't gotten full into it. I've listened to a few chapters of it. I'm already kind of hooked into it, and I can't wait to listen to the rest when I have a little bit more free time. But it's good stuff. Good stuff so far.
It's fun.
Yeah, it is a lot of fun.
Dude's got a copy of it. Dude's reading it now too.
Oh, it is cool. Cool.
Yeah.
Definitely want to get the dude more on the show. Our friend Steve is going to be a little bit more of a part of the show when Curb Your Enthusiasm comes back, as well as The Walking David. We're going to be doing some reviews of Curb. So, Joe, I know you probably have to go. I probably have to let you go in a few moments here. So everyone,
sandwiches waiting to be eaten.
Yeah, Joe has to eat some sandwiches, and I have to legitimately eat since I haven't yet quite today.
That's what I'm eating. I had a sandwich waiting for me.
Legitimate sandwich. So everyone, thank you so much for joining me tonight, joining Joe and I this afternoon into early evening. I will be back on either Wednesday or Thursday evening. I'm not sure quite yet. Kind of just do a random bullshit, talk a little bit about the season of Prison Break, talk a little bit about the Nintendo E3 and a couple of other things coming from E3, and talk about the honeymoon and the wedding and answer any silly questions anybody might have. So Joe possibly might be popping in depending on his work situation. If he sees me live, he's always welcome to throw a hello out there. Thank you to Timo for getting us a little drunk, and thank you to any of our other super chat donators that made us do push-ups and blink.
Oh, you bastard.
You bastard. It kind of was a weird.
Scout? It was Scout.
I think it was Scout. Scout got the push-ups, and then someone else, Jen, for her first time joining us, got another spin and got a sandwich. Well, thank you, Jen. You got the best one. Eating a sandwich is a great gift.
Scout.
Yeah, it was Scout.
Yeah, it was Scout.
Scout push-ups. Fuck. I know Scout wanted the shot.
20 push-ups. Why would you write 20 on there, dude?
I don't know, because it's a good workout. Because we should be able to do 20 push-ups, but it's enough to hurt.
I did 18 in a row.
You did 18. I did 10 and 10. I did
18 and 2.
I did. What's more impressive, 10 and 10 or 18 and 2? I guess 18 and 2 because you did the 18. Lotus.
Flash girls. There it is.
Lotus has come into the room. Hi, Lotus. You want to be on the show, Lotus?
And boys. For anybody who's watching.
But everyone, thank you so much for joining us tonight. I will be back soon. And of course, please, if you haven't already, please hit the like button. Please hit the subscribe button. Excuse me. You can follow me on Twitter at I Got Issues, man. You can follow Joe at Dirty Locks. Please join the Discord group if you haven't already. You can find the link to that in the description box below. Keep the discussion moving. There's also a Google Plus group that our Red Sox fan shares a lot of fun stuff, and so do a lot of other people. There's some Facebook groups and all that stuff if you're into that. So please follow. Do it.
And start making your plans now for Comic-Con in Boston, and come drop by the G4 Comics booth. Yeah,
drop by the G4 Comics booth. Say hi to Joe, maybe me as well. And if you guys want us at events and stuff like that, tell us. You can always email suggestions to igotissuesman@gmail.com. You can see on the screen right now, igotissuesman. Just add @gmail.com to that and send me an email. Any questions, concerns, comments, anything you have, you can see in the description box below how to support us on Patreon, how to support us on PayPal, any other ways you can help the channel grow and keep going. We're going to be on a lot pretty soon in Game of Thrones. We're going to be doing 3 podcasts a week coming up in Game of Thrones season. So it's going to be a lot of fun. So thank you, everybody. And thank you and everyone in the live motherfucking chat. Max, you might be...
Max!
I was going to be friendly to Max. I was going to be like, Max, it doesn't matter if you're late. It's an awesome time to have you. But please join the Discord group. Keep the discussion going. It's a lot of love there, a lot of random discussions in a lot of different directions. Joe?
We purposely told you two not to notify you.
Purposely. Yeah, it was
good, Max. Sorry you missed it.
And Joe, there's actually, if you go on the Discord group, you can use Joe emojis. You can use Joe's face to elicit emotions. It's amazing. Thank you to Lady Squeak. You don't join Discord enough, Joe. They've turned our faces into emojis for their use. It's amazing.
I gotta see this shit.
You have to see it. It's incredible. The Joe's upset one is classic, and then we have me and you as a couple. It's amazing stuff. So please join the Discord group. Keep the discussion moving, people. It's a lot of fun. Lotus, what are you doing, Lotus? You're all over this room. So I'm trying to play music. Music's not playing, so I'm keep going. I'm a little drunk thanks to Timo. Yeah, Weeping Joe emoji is amazing. Quixote, I will be back for some Zelda very soon with this DLC coming.
Where do I find them? Okay, I'm in the Discord. Where do I find these things?
If you go into any group, any of the rooms, if you click down on the emoji section, you'll see them.
Oh wait, I gotta find the right group here.
Yeah, so I'll be back next week alone to talk about next week's episode of Better Call Saul, the season finale, right after the episode airs at as long as I'm not passed out late night. Talk to you guys next time. Goodbye.
So I took you down to the local clinic. If you pass blood test, my tickle go in it. Don't try to be faithful, it is true. If you little ass birth control too. Now the women, it's not wrong. The boyfriend is consummate, pass it along. Pass her along. Pass her along. So what type of woman is for me and you? I have a simulation, damn it, it's true. Surely blood test to ever get this dick. Condoms are unnatural, and plus they feel like shit. We need a woman we all can trust, so we know we fuck her, our dicks won't turn to dust. Our dicks won't turn to dust. So I knew this guy knew a girl. He fucked her right and he rocked that world. Then showed up unannounced. Said yes, babies are worth a pound. The answer is no. Stops in the case. From an condom messed up the pace. You only heard my hero rebel song. It's joined together once and for all.
Everybody.